Hey everybody, the doors to Viridian Tea House are open once more. I'm so glad that you're here with me today because I have so much stuff to talk about. I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's just get right to it. Normally I do the books first, then the tea, but today I'm gonna do the tea first, then books. I know, change, like David Bowie sings. Anyway, so today's tea review is actually from a tea company that I've been working with for a while. The name of the company is Asami Tea LLC. They specialize in teas from Africa, either with caffeine or without, specifically the rooibos or the honeybush has no caffeine. For those of you who have purchased the Colorado Sunrise, that's made with rooibos, not specifically from Asami, but you always want to know what it tastes like. If you had that blend, you know what I'm talking about. So today's tea review is the Asami Wallace Bay Wonder. I got this as a sample some time ago and I've been meaning to drink it, and I figure this would be a great time to actually sample it live on my YouTube channel. So Wallace Bay Wonder from Asami. And the ingredients in this are honeybush and with a hazelnut flavor to it. So if you are a fan of hazelnut like I am, you're gonna love this tea. And in fact, I actually brewed it beforehand so that I could be ready. So this is what it looks like brewed. You can just see that color, it's gorgeous. That's due to the honeybush. Get really close in there if you can just kind of see it. And then I think I melted my table, so whoops. Anyway, so, and for today's sampling, I'm going to use a specific cup. And there's a reason for this cup, which will go into the book portion, but I'll talk about that later. So check out this cup I got from Cosign. This was hand painted and made by Charles McLean Redding. Had to make sure I got the name right. It was really kind of hot, but let me get a better grip here. See that? The wolf creature, in a sense. But this is actually a creature from one of the books I'm going to be talking about today. But yes, he was selling copies of his book as well as the teacup as a package deal. So this is full of Wallace Bay Wonder. So here we go. Oh, that's lovely. There's no sugar, as I've said before. I rarely put any kind of sweetener in my tea except for honey sometimes. This, because of the honeybush, you don't need it. That is really, really good tea. This is quite lovely. And in fact, I think it's enhanced a little bit because my boyfriend and I had chocolate cake about 20 minutes ago. So this is quite good. Very good. That is very tasty. You can definitely, I do remember when I actually smelled the tea from the bag, I got this kind of nutty chocolatey scent to it. And I was like, okay, I kind of forgot what's in this, but, and then when I steeped it, I'm getting more of a hazelnut taste to it and a sweet hazelnut. But you can pair this with any kind of dessert and it will work so well. So great job, Asami. The Wallace Bay Wonder is an amazing, amazing tea, and I'll be buying more of this for myself. The big thing about Asami is that I am sort of kind of partners with them. If you have tried Jackie Verona, Jackie's Special Tea Blend, that's made with their Tumoy purple tea, which is not quite green, it's not quite black, and when you steep it, it's a beautiful golden color and it has a great taste to it. So if the name Asami sounds familiar, that's because I use it in the Jackie Verona blend. So hats off to you, Asami. This tea, this Wallace Bay Wonder is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get to the book portion. So like I said, this particular teacup is significant because of the next author I'm about to talk about. The Guardian of Taihar, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, by Charles McLean Redding. This was such an amazing read. Don't let it's kind of thin, but this is jam-packed with action, suspense, back history, magic, folklore, good guys, bad guys, demons, guardians, watchers, whatever. This is just a fantastic book. So much so that I'm looking forward to the second book. So whenever the second book comes, I am so getting it. So I'm just going to read the back of it for you. The village of Gen C has never known true fear, for they are protected by their mighty guardian. Yet 2 dangerous travelers will change all that, holding secrets and drawing terror in their wake. Faced with real conflict, how can the village uphold their peaceful values, especially when, in the coming battle, even the guardian beast may not be strong enough to defend them? Excuse me. Once again, this was a phenomenal read. Phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoyed the backstory. I thoroughly enjoyed the action, even the Guardian itself. I really, really, truly enjoyed that. So for this book, it gets the highest review for Viridian Tea House, 5 cups of tea. An excellent read. I cannot speak any higher about it. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I look forward to reading many more books by Mr. Redding. So job well done. Thank you so much. And now, let me wet my throat just for a minute with this lovely tea from Asami, the Wallace Bay Wonder. Shameless promotion. And you know, it's funny how with tea, especially with certain tea blends or just regular tea, the closer you get to the dregs, the more of the flavor you get. So like right now, there's a little bit of drag in the bottom of my cup, and I'm getting more and more of the hazelnut and less of the honey bush. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Again, if you are into hazelnut, the Wallace Bay Wonder from Asami Tea is excellent. Oh, that's lovely. All right, so the second book I'm going to be reviewing is actually from my backyard. What I mean is through my publisher, ProSe Productions. They're the ones who are responsible for, in terms of my books, Jackie Verona, Agnes Viridian, my newest book that just came out yesterday called Maven. That's my first attempt at writing cyberpunk. I hope you guys go out there and grab yourself a copy, and I hope you enjoy it. And all the other books that are, and Order of the Black Silk, The Plague Doctors, which are gothic superheroes. So this book I actually bought some time ago from my publisher, and I put it to the side. It was in my to be read pile, and I'm like, I'm gonna read this one of these days. I really will. And then finally I just broke down and I said, I'm gonna read this. Again, as I have learned, when I buy books and then years later I read them, it's like, why did I wait? What am I talking about? The Adventures of the Bronze Buckaroo. This kicked serious butt. There was not one story that was lacking. I thoroughly enjoyed each of the voices of the authors. The authors include Frankie Bailey, Robert Randisi, Gary Phillips, Percy Parker, Christopher Chambers, Michael Gonzalez, and John Lutz. This was a phenomenal anthology, and let me just read the back of it for you. From out of the Wild West, gun on his hip, song on his lips, returns a historic hero of the silver screen and brand new stories. The Bronze Buckaroo rides again. Portrayed by real person, singer-actor Herb Jeffries, the Bronze Buckaroo, Bob Blake, appeared on screens in 1939 as the first African-American singing cowboy. Cast in the mold of Gene Autry and Roy Rogers, the Buckaroos films had one major difference. They sported largely African-American casts and were produced by African-American companies. With 4 films usually listed as the Buckaroos' legacy, this truly great moment in cinema history has been largely forgotten, except for film experts and fans of great stories. The Adventures of the Bronze Buckaroo features leading authors in genre fiction today. each giving their own take on the most unique singing cowboy to ever ride into a theater. Load your 6 guns, saddle up, and get ready to charge into two-fisted matinee movie action with the adventures of the Bronze Buckaroo. Again, I thoroughly enjoyed this entire anthology. There wasn't one story that was lacking or, okay, whatever. Each author had their own voice, and they made Herb Jeffries come back to life. So with this anthology, it gets the highest award of Viridian Tea House, 5 cups of tea. Excellent job, you guys. It was an amazing read, and I kind of want to see if I can find some of the movies. I'm sure I can find them on YouTube or something like that. So once again, for the book reviews, we've got The Guardian of Taihar by Charles McLean Redding, 5 cups of tea, and also The Adventures of the Bronze Buckaroo through ProSe Productions, also 5 cups of tea. Excellent books. If you're looking for something new and different to read, I highly recommend these two. And actually, as always on the YouTube videos, I will post the links to the author and or publishing company to where you can get your own copies. So thanks. Great reads. So before I wrap this up with the meditation, I kind of want to take a few minutes to talk about something, a particular subject that deals with tea. I've been dealing with tea for quite some time now. I'm a certified tea specialist, and I have the company. I've done festivals and events and things like that. And one particular question that I get a lot of is, well, how do I brew it? How do I make this tea? A lot of people are used to having the tea bags, which there's nothing wrong with that. I have tea bags all through this house and at work and all that kind of stuff. But for loose leaf, a lot of people kind of get a little, I don't really know how to work this. What do I do? So I'm just going to take a few minutes to show you some different accessories that I use. And maybe this will inspire you to go out and get your own. So without further ado, let's begin. So one instrument that I like to use is a French press. And I actually learned about this from another tea company. I can't remember what festival. I think it was World Tea Expo, I think. But a French press, everybody assumes that it's for coffee. Wrong. You can also use it for tea as well. And one of my favorite French presses is actually in the style of Doctor Who's TARDIS, which every time I put this on my table at festivals, I get at least 5 people asking me how much is it, and I always tell them it's my personal collection. But I appreciate it though. So how do you do a French press? Easy. So you got your filter right here. You got your container here. So what you do is you put in your water, your hot water, and then however much tea. I usually tell people do about a tablespoon per 8 ounces. So for like the teapot that I just showed you, I did about 3 tablespoons. So once you have your concoction inside, you place it like so to that the filter is actually just on top. You let it sit for about, I usually say for like black and green teas, 3 to 4 minutes. Teas or tisanes like the rooibos, I'll say about 5 minutes to 7 minutes. Herbals, 5 to 7 minutes. White tea, I say about 1 to 2 minutes. But anyway, once you've got your allotted time, you just press down, and then this traps all the tea underneath the screen, and then on top, ready to pour, and you're good to go. So that's a French press. Another device is the tea infuser ball. I actually got this from my job. I work at, just a little side note, I work at Crate and Barrel, so we have tons of tea accessories and things like that. So you got these little balls right here. So what you do is you put in a tablespoon of tea. This is usually for like 1 cup. So like something like this, or just a regular 8-ounce mug. But put your tea in here, snap it shut, put it in your hot water, kind of swirl it around a little bit. Again, 1 to 2 minutes for white tea, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes for green or black tea, 5 to 7 minutes for herbal. And then when you're done swishing it around, or up to you, your preference, pull it out, throw out the tea, or use it again. You can use it again. And then just wash it with, warm soap and water. So this is an infuser, or excuse me, not an infuser, a metal bowl, sorry. Well, it's all the same thing. You know what I mean. Anyway, next is a gaiwan. If you've seen this before, you have the little base, the actual cup, and the lid. Now, what you would do with a gaiwan is like this. You would take your cup, put in your tea, which I actually put in some of my tea just to show it off to a customer. Oops, sorry. And then you pour in your hot water really slowly. And then you use the lid to kind of push the leaves to the side. Again, after letting it steep for however long you wanted to let it steep. And then, so you can push the leaves to the side like so, and then sip very slowly. Or you can use your thumb and drink it this way. And that way, this kind of acts as an infuser. So I have seen many, many beautiful gaiwans that were hand painted, or, different symbols or things like that. I just got a plain white one. I actually got this from the World Tea Academy when I was studying to become a tea specialist. So again, this is a gaiwan, another instrument that you can use to steep loose leaf tea. And then finally, sometimes you can get certain kinds of kettles or teapots. Excuse me, not kettles, teapots. So, and the one connecting factor with both of these teapots is they both have mesh bags inside. So what you can do is, again, you pour your tea leaves inside, put however much water you want to put in there, let this steep for a couple of minutes, and then pour when ready. And the same thing with this. If you can see the mesh basket, the little wire mesh basket inside, you put the tea inside after letting the water boil or get to what I call small fish eyes. Then you let it steep for how long? Again, this is the Wallace Bay Wonder, but see, as it steeps longer and longer, see how beautiful that color is. It's a deep, deep red, just beautiful. But then when the tea is ready, pour it, you're ready to go. And in fact, I do believe it's time to refill my cup. One thing about these teapots is, and just with the art of tea anyway, take your time with all of this. Take your time. I've shown you some different ways to make your own loose leaf tea, but the biggest thing about tea is it's an art form. This is a time where you slow down, you forget about your problems outside of your door, and you enjoy a nice cup of tea. So if you can turn this into, 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, you take the time to slow down, you take the time to get to know the tea, and putting it in your teapot or putting it in your gaiwan or even putting it in your French press, spend some time to kind of look at the leaves and smell them and see which scents come out first and which come out last. And then watching the tea steep and then pouring it out into your favorite cup. Maybe you have a special cup that you like to use for drinking tea as opposed to, everything else that you may drink with coffee or water or fruit juices or whatever. But if you are interested in incorporating more tea into your life, set aside some time and almost make it into a meditation. That's what I do sometimes. Now, sometimes, like if I'm at work or if I'm writing or whatever, I'll make my tea, and sometimes I honestly do forget. I'm just like, oh, tea, thank goodness. But as I'm saying these words, it's also a reminder for me as well. Take the time to slow down when you enjoy your tea. One thing about my tea company is, yes, the tea blends are inspired by books and art and nature and science and anything else that tickles my fancy. But above all, I want all of my customers, all the people that I meet involving my tea, to just slow down, take a deep breath, and just enjoy it. That's what it's made for. It's made for your enjoyment, your relaxation, your time to unwind. You know, if you have a great book that you're reading, drink some tea and set aside 30 minutes and let that be your time. If you're painting or doing nothing or watching one of your favorite movies. But anyway, you see where I'm going with this. Just if this is something that you would like to enjoy more so than, you know, just throwing leaves and water in a bowl and just drinking it down, why not try that and just see what happens? And if you do that, please email me at teagoddess74@gmail.com. Send me a picture of how you set up your tea. Tell me in an email what are some of your favorite teas to enjoy at the end of the day or in the beginning of the day, or something that you drink all day. I would love to hear from you. So once again, the email address is teagoddess, TEA goddess74@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon. And with that, before I wrap up with meditation, let me just bring out the books again. The Guardian of Taihar by Charles McLean Redding, The Adventures of the Bronze Buckaroo through my publishing company, ProSe Press, both 5 stars. Excellent books to check out. I highly recommend them both. They both got the 5 cups of tea from Viridian House. Great job. And also for the tea review for the day, it is the Wallace Bay Wonder from Asami Tea. Go check them out. They have some excellent blends. Cannot talk about these people enough. Thank you so much for this tea. I'm really, really enjoying it. And now to end, as always, with meditation. So find a comfortable spot. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time, deep breath in and exhale. There's no subject to think about, just focus on your breathing. And now as we end this meditation, take one deep breath in and out. Slowly open your eyes, and we're back. Thank you again, as always, for watching these videos. I really do have a lot of fun making them, and now that I have better technology, just expect more and more content. Again, thank you. I hope that these book reviews and this particular tea review will get you to order these books and check out the tea. Or if not, you know, hey, at least you get to take a little break throughout your day and watch my silliness. So anyway, until next time, I say raise your cup high, take care, and may your tea always be a good one. Bye, guys.